Welcome everybody to the VR Game Rankings YouTube channel. This is the daily vlog series. We are now up to episode 125. It is Friday, March 23rd. This is the end of the GDC week. Game Developers Conference 2018 has come and it has gone, and there were a lot of exciting things that happened over this entire week. Of course, we started things off on Monday with the big Vive Pro announcement, the price that caught everybody off guard. And then there was the thing that everybody kind of swept under the rug, the fact that the original HTC Vive is available for $499.99, its lowest permanent price so far. That is something to celebrate. We of course got some Magic Leap related news this week as well. We also got some Oculus Go news, some Santa Cruz news, lots of stuff going on at GDC, lots of different information popped up throughout the week. But one of the things that I haven't really covered too much this week is the games. What about the games? That's what this is all about. Yeah, the hardware is great, but really we want this hardware so that we can play some kick-ass games. That's what it's all about. And so today's show on VR Game Rankings, we are going to talk nothing but games, wall to wall, just different announcements about games, different things that we heard about games at GDC, some release dates, and some other stuff like that. So let's go ahead and get things started. We're going to go ahead and kick it off. Story number one is PC Gamer was at GDC. They were at Survios's booth at GDC where they got some hands-on time with Creed Rise to Glory. Yeah, we all know about Survios. These are the developers of Sprint Vector, which recently came out. They are the developers of Raw Data. Of course, they also have a music creation game that is going to be coming out called Electronauts, and they were showing that game off as well as Creed Rise to Glory. Now, we've already had a story about Creed Rise to Glory. Why am I bringing it up again? I'm bringing it up again for a couple of reasons. Last time when we talked about last time when we talked about Creed Rise to Glory, we did not have any screenshots. We did not have a game trailer. We really didn't know too much about the game. All we had was a title screen and the fact that Survios was developing the game. That's all we had on it. And now we have a bit more information. We still don't have a trailer. Not sure why there isn't an official trailer yet, but we do have some screenshots courtesy of PC Gamer. They do have these screenshots in their article, and so we'll be referring to those screenshots. And then also we have a little bit of some off-camera footage from somebody that was at Survios's booth and kind of recording people in the actual full-size boxing rings that they had there. If you were an attendee at GDC, if you were able to get a demo of Creed Rise to Glory, you actually got inside a real-life boxing ring and got able to try the game inside a boxing ring as you were able to demonstrate that. And we have a little bit of off-camera footage that kind of shows the game running on some different screens that were there at their booth. So we do have a little bit of that. Now, what was PC Gamer saying about this game? Well, the big thing they had to say was that this is not a weak-ass Nintendo Wii boxing thing. Yeah, that's an actual quote there, a weak-ass Wii boxing thing, that this is a real deal boxing game that Survios is coming out, that you are going to have to throw a lot of real punches. In fact, the guy at PC Gamer that tried this game out was saying this game is going to make your arms tired. You're going to get a real workout, that this is a very strenuous game to actually play through this game because you're going to be doing the real punches. You're going to be involved with that. Graphically, looking at the screenshots that we have seen of the game does look pretty graphically impressive. It does have a little bit of a cartoony look to it, but it's a cartoony look that is kind of a menacing boxers that you're going to be dealing with. The way that they're designed, it looks quite impressive. So this is a game that we want to keep our eyes on. Now, when is Creed Rise to Glory coming out? this is probably going to be timed to coincide with the Creed movie that will be coming out later this year, the follow-up movie that's coming out later this year. I don't believe there's a locked-in release date yet for Creed, but that's probably when this game is arriving. So we'll look for it a little bit later this year, but it does look very impressive. Okay, let's go into story number 2. Story number 2, do you guys remember a game called Reba Want, Rise of the New Horde? So this goes back to China Joy 2017. Back at China Joy 2017, HTC was there, and in their booth, they were giving private demonstrations to this game called Reba Want, Rise of the New Horde. And if you were at China Joy, apparently HTC representatives were kind of bragging about this game, talking about how this is a real deal AAA game for the HTC Vive. This Reba Want game has the graphics that kind of look like Gears of War or something like that, and they were kind of bragging and boasting about this game. So we heard about it back then. That generated a little bit of hype for this game because we thought, oh my God, this one might be a real graphical powerhouse. It is coming from a Chinese developer called Dark Lord. Now, then what happened was really late last year, they released a demo on Steam where they were actually charging 99 cents for this demo. Now, a lot of people picked up the demo, and the truth of the matter is the demo did not run very well. You had to have an incredibly beastly PC rig to get this Reba Want demo to run, and it really didn't do the game a ton of favors. People weren't really ranting and raving about Reba Want after this demo. Now, why is it in the news right now? It's in the news because there is a brand new Steam page for this game, and it has undergone a slight name change. The game is now called Reba Want Endless Dawn. Reba Want Endless Dawn is the name of the game. It does have this new Steam page. There is a brand new trailer for the game. The trailer, however, is 100% CGI. Honestly, it seems like this company, Dark Lord, is throwing all their money into having an incredible CGI trailer, but why don't we have some actual gameplay footage of the game? We really don't have much gameplay footage, and even the screenshots that they have on their Steam page, I don't know that any of these screenshots actually give us a realistic look at the gameplay footage either. So not really sure what is going on with this Reba Want game, but apparently it is going to hit early access on April 11th. So if you're interested in this game, keep your eye on that. It is coming on April 11th. Okay, let's get into story number 3. Story number 3, End Space. This game, of course, started out as a Gear VR game. It was then ported to the PlayStation VR. Then a while back, it came to the Oculus Rift. Well, now it is finally going to hit Steam. It is hitting Steam on March 29th. Now, you guys might remember, March 29th is Ready Player One. So everybody is going to be in a movie theater watching Ready Player One. But I guess when you get out of there, you might want to hop onto Steam. You could probably grab End Space. We don't have a price for this game, but I believe it was $15 on Oculus. Not a bad deal. Pretty decent game. I played this game on PlayStation VR. I had a lot of fun with it on PlayStation VR. It is very similar to Eve Valkyrie in certain ways. Now, this is single player only. It doesn't have any multiplayer, but the single player is a little more story driven than maybe say Eve Valkyrie. So, and it does have some colorful graphics. It does have some very vibrant and very bright, colorful graphics. Even though you're flying around in space, the developer Orange Bridge Studios, they did what they could do to kind of provide some variety in terms of the backdrops that you're going to be flying your little spaceship in and taking on the enemy fighters. And so that is End Space. It will be coming on March 29th. Probably for $15, although we don't have an exact price. Now, talking about Steam and games hitting Steam, today on March 23rd, The Mage's Tale has arrived for HTC Vive players. Remember, The Mage's Tale, this was an Oculus Rift exclusive. We honestly had no idea that this game would ever be coming to any other platforms. This is from In Exile Entertainment. These guys are high quality RPG type developers. Now, this is pretty much a dungeon crawler in the vein of, say, Vanishing Realms or Carnage Chronicles, very similar to those two games. The one thing about the Mage's Tale, though, is this is a long game. This is a meaty game. This is not the kind of game that you're going to buy and you're going to bang your way through it in a single afternoon. This actually has some pretty good depth to it. I mean, you can spend 8 or 9, maybe even possibly 10 hours with the Mage's Tale. Also, this game has some great production value. It has some really good voice work. There's a legitimate story that is going on with this game. Now, the $40 price may scare some people away, especially when in less than 2 weeks from today, we are going to be playing Skyrim VR. Now, Skyrim VR obviously isn't a dungeon crawler, but it is in a similar vein. So it's possible in Exile Entertainment, they're like, you know what, we need to get this game out as quick as possible. As soon as the Skyrim VR date hit, they're like, man, we need to get this game out. Bam, now they got it out on March 23rd. So the good news is they got it out a little bit ahead of time of Skyrim VR. I played the Mage's Tale on the Oculus Rift. I'm a big fan of the Mage's Tale on the Oculus Rift. In fact, a lot of Vive gamers may have actually already played this game via Revive. And I originally tried playing this game on Revive. I had a ton of problems. The translation just wasn't there. The controls just didn't feel right. There's certain games on Revive, it's no disrespect to Cross VR. This guy has done an incredible job for all VR gamers around the world, just tireless efforts from Cross VR. And I'm not trying to disparage what he's provided in any way, shape, or form, but occasionally you're going to get a game that just doesn't translate very well. It just doesn't work very well. It was designed to be played with Oculus Touch controllers, and when you're trying to play it through Revive, just doesn't cut the mustard. But now we have a native version. This is on Steam. This is designed pretty much specifically with the HTC Vive in mind, but I also believe that it'll work just fine with Windows mixed reality headsets as well. So this is the first chance that these people are going to have to play a native version of the Mage's Tale. I like the game a lot. It's got a lot of great production values. It has great music, incredible graphics. The one negative thing that I'll say about the Mage's Tale is that the combat gets a bit repetitive, and you kind of get into these situations where the music drums up. You have this burst of combat where you have to deal with waves of enemies for a certain period of time, and then it all kind of dissipates, and now it's more of a quiet exploring game. And then boom, you get the combat again, and you kind of go through. It's kind of the rinse and repeat type of situation. That is really the only negative thing I can say about the Mage's Tale. The $40 price is a little bit harsh as well, especially with so many VR games hitting right now at this current point in time. Okay, let's get into our next game. Our next game is Battlezone. Now, this is the free weekend game this week for Oculus. Oculus has been doing this for as long as I can remember. Every single weekend, we get a free game to try out, and this week it is Battlezone. Last week, I believe, was Eternity Warriors VR, a decent little wave shooter there. This time we're getting Battlezone, and I'm actually really excited about this. This, of course, is Rebellion. I played Battlezone on the PlayStation VR way back around the time of the PlayStation VR launch. In fact, I was actually a GameFly subscriber way back then because I was trying to get my hands on a lot of different PSVR games, and so I had a GameFly account to get these physical discs. Have you ever heard of them, folks? It's a physical shiny disc that you actually put into a video game system. It's this really quaint thing that they have on the PlayStation VR. And so I rented this game via GameFly, played it quite a bit. I was really into it. I really liked Battlezone, but of course I did send it back, and I was always kind of under the assumption that I would get my hands on Battlezone again at some later date, and I just never did. This game came to the Oculus Rift. It came to the HTC Vive. Now, a lot of PC VR gamers weren't really super excited about the game. I think when it first came out, it was $40. It's also a seated controller-based game, and just a lot of people didn't get that into it. They weren't that hyped. Now the price has dropped a bit. I believe it is $20 right now, but you can try it for free on Oculus this weekend. I think it's a great opportunity to try this game. I thought the game was beautiful on PlayStation VR. I really loved the Tron-like graphics, just the design of it, the music. It just had this like neon look to it that I thought was really cool. I can't wait to try this weekend. In fact, I am downloading this right now as we speak, and when I'm done with wrapping up this episode, I'm definitely going to hop in there and I'm going to try some Battlezone. I'm actually looking forward to it. So if you guys have never tried that out, it is a good opportunity to go ahead and give that a try. Okay, so the next game I want to get into is budget cuts. Yeah, I know that I've already talked about budget cuts quite a bit, even talked about it this week already, but guess what? Tested has a new video that they've released, and they've had some hands-on time with budget cuts, but more importantly, there's actually some new footage that is being shown out there, and actually, this kind of takes me to a side rant. This goes back to the Creed Rise to Glory, and then also this game budget cuts. One thing I want to say to developers out there, if you're showing off your new game and you have new stuff to talk about your new game, please have brand new screenshots of the game on your website, brand new pictures of the game. Please have a new trailer for your game. This is one of the issues that I've ran into in covering both Creed Rise to Glory and budget cuts is you have to go to all these different websites to try to find where's a new picture of the game. Like, why can't I just go to Neat Corp's website or to the Steam page or whatever and get these new pictures, get these new trailers, but we don't have any of that stuff. So luckily Tested did get some hands-on time with the game, and they do have some video footage of some never before seen levels. Now they've talked about playing the game, and they're saying that they're just as excited about this game as they were way back in 2016. Yes, it does use this teleport mechanic, but the stealth gameplay is there. That there are a lot of different robots now that there didn't used to be. There are the bad guy robots, but there's also some good guy robots. There's even like little Roomba robots that are traveling around. There's some other robots that they're not menacing, they're not violent. You don't have to worry about them. Now you can take them out if you want to be a bad guy and do that, or you can leave them alone and just let them be. And then of course you do have the security robots that you're actually dealing with. But a lot of new footage was shown in this video that Tested has. Make sure you go over to Tested, check out the full video there. They're talking about the Oculus Go and Santa Cruz and all of that. So there's some good information on this Tested video. We really like Tested. Make sure to go over to their website or go over to their YouTube channel and go ahead and check that out. Now, the last story I wanted to get into before we get out of here today is there are 3 Ready Player One experiences that are available today. Now, of course, I had that talk where we talked about 8 different Ready Player One experiences that would be coming to VR arcades, and then it might come to Viveport, it might come to Steam. We weren't really sure how this all was going to unravel. Well, 3 big experiences of the 8 have arrived on Viveport today. So you can go ahead and try these out absolutely for free on Viveport. Now, which are the 3 experiences that I'm talking about? Well, Battle for the Oasis by Still Wool Studios is one of them. You got Gauntlet by Directive Games. You got Rise of the Gunters by Drifter Entertainment. And actually, I think Rise of the Gunters, of all 8 experiences that we saw, Rise of the Gunters probably looked the most like a real deal legitimate VR game. So that is one definitely to check out. Gauntlet by Directive Games looks pretty good as well. And Battle for the Oasis by Still Wool Studios also looks definitely worth trying. So this, of course, is all on Viveport. Now, a lot of us don't want to use Viveport because we've heard so many horror stories about blue screens, crashing your Windows PC, and just lots of stuff like that. So there is that to deal with. But if you are one of the brave souls that has Viveport on your computer, you definitely want to check these out. And then in other Ready Player One based news, the Distracted Globe music experience. I talked about how this is available on Steam. You can get the Wave VR app and you can actually go ahead and try the Distracted Globe music experience. Now, when it was first launched, 5, they were having some problems with it and they had to shut it down and they had to disable it. But apparently that has all been patched. Everything has been worked out. And I did see a Reddit thread actually about this very game, well, this experience. I saw a Reddit thread where somebody was absolutely raving, saying the Distracted Globe experience is amazing. You guys have got to try this out. So that is available and you can get the Wave VR app off of Steam and go ahead and try that. So that is 4 of those 8 Ready Player One experiences as we get closer and closer to the arrival of Ready Player One next week. Alrighty, folks, that's going to go ahead and wrap it up for today's episode. This has been episode 125 of our daily vlog series for Friday, March 23rd. Everybody have a wonderful weekend. Make sure to try Battlezone. I know it's a seated controller-based game, but give it a try. And if you're a Vive player, you've never tried the Mage's Tale, that is a great game to try as well. Arc Park is a brand new release that is out as well. Didn't get a chance to play that yet, so I don't have any thoughts on that yet. Maybe next week I'll have some thoughts. But basically, guys, that's going to go ahead and do it. I will see everybody on Monday. Take it easy. Later.